In this lesson, we're looking at how we can solve equations. Most of this is revision from year 8, but just make sure that you understand what's happening. Now, when we're solving equations, we're going to have these things in mind. First of all is our goal. Now, we want to find the value of our pronumeral, say x. We want to finally get through a range of steps down to x equals something. We want to make sure our x is on the left-hand side. So it's on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. If it's on the other side, we just want to swap it over and swap the other value as well. Now, when we're solving these types of equations, we're going to be using opposite operations. So say we had this one, 3x plus 2 equals 1. We're using the opposite operations and starting furthest from the pronumeral. So the pronumeral is x, and we have the times 3 and the plus 2. Now, the x is being multiplied by 3 before we add the 2, so the adding of 2 is the furthest thing away. So we want to remove this first, and then we do our opposite operations, which is minus 2. Now, again, all of this should be revision for you, but it's just good for us to go over it before we get to harder things. And then finally, we want to divide by 3 to remove the times 3. We get x equals minus 1 over 3. We're also going to be looking at things where we have to expand brackets. Or we can divide by numbers outside of brackets. We're going to also have multiple fractions. So we had 2 over 3 equals 4 over 6. We would need to remove these two. And to do that, we're going to multiply by the lowest common multiple, the LCM. In this case, that's 6. So if we multiply both sides by 6, we get 4 equals 4, which would be correct. And then finally, we want to also look at collecting pronumerals on one side. That's for situations where if we had, say, x plus 3 equals 2x, we want to get all of the x's onto that side and all of the values on that side, eventually getting x equals something. So these are some of the new things that we're needing to look at in solving equations in this unit. And remember, whenever we're solving equations, if you do something to one side, say we minus 2 from one side, we have to do it to the other. This is just thing you should remember from previous years. So you can see here we have our pronumeral on both sides. We want to get to a stage where it's finally just x equals something. So we want the pronumeral on just the left-hand side. So we're going to keep that in mind when we're solving this equation. Now we can do some things straight away. We can get rid of this divided by 2 by multiplying both sides by 2. So if this whole thing is multiplied by 2, we're going to get 3x plus 4. Because this whole thing multiplied by 2, these two cancel out. When we multiply 2 by 2, we're going to get 4. Equals, and then minus 2x times 2 is minus 4x. So now we've got a nicer looking equation. We can move the 4x to the other side by doing the opposite, which is adding 4x. So subtracting, we add, we get 7x plus 4 equals 0. And then we can take the 4 over there by subtracting it from both sides. 7x equals minus 4, and then we divide both sides by 7. We're going to get x equals minus 4 on 7, and that's your answer. In this question, we have two fractions with different denominators. Now, to remove those denominators, we're going to have to find their lowest common multiple, which in this case is 14. The lowest common multiple of 2 and 7 is 14. So we're going to multiply both sides by that number, which is going to then give us 14 lots of 2x plus 3 over 2 plus 14 lots of 3 equals 14 lots of 4x plus 14 lots of 2 over 7. Now we can simplify this. That becomes 7, and that cancels out. And these two are going to cancel out as well, and we're going to get 2, which means we're going to have 14x, 7 times 2x, plus 7 times 3, which is 21, plus 14 times 3, which is 42, equals 14 times 4, which is 56x, plus 2 lots of 2, which is 4. We can keep simplifying this down. We're going to get 14 plus 63 equals 56x plus 4. Now we can move the x onto the other side by subtracting 56x from both sides. Oh, we lost the x there. So we're going to then get minus 42x plus 63 equals 4. we want to move the 63 onto this side, so we're going to subtract it from both sides. You're going to get minus 42x equals minus 59. We can then get the x by itself by dividing both sides by minus 42. So you're going to get x. A minus divided by a minus is going to be positive, so we're going to have 59 over 42. Now you could change that into a proper fraction, but that is your solution. So in this question, we have two sets of brackets. Now there's different ways we could approach this. The easiest is going to be just to expand those brackets and then to move things around. So we're going to start off 2 times x is going to be 2x, 2 times 3 plus 6, minus 3 times 2x, which is 6x, and then minus 3 times minus 4 is going to be plus 12, equals 12. Now we can simplify this. We're going to get minus 4x plus 18 equals 12. Minus 4x is going to be minus 6x. Then we divide both sides by minus 4. And we're going to get minus 6 over minus 4. So x is going to then simplify down to be 1.5. And then that's our solution. Now it's your turn. Find the value of x here. Okay, so first we subtract 8. Get 4x equals 2 minus 8, which is going to be minus 10. Then we divide by 4. We get x equals minus 10 on 4. And that's your solution. For this one, we want to remove this 4, so we're going to multiply both sides by 4. So we're going to get 3x. The 4's cancel out here. 5 times 4 is 20, equals minus 8x. Now we want to move this 20 to the other side, so we're going to subtract 20 from both sides. So we get 3x equals minus 8x minus 20, and we want the x on that side, so we're going to do the opposite, so add 8x to both sides. So that's going to then give us 11x equals minus 20, and now we just need to divide by 11 because we're currently multiplying by it. So we're going to get x equals minus 20 on 11. And again, you can simplify that. It'll become 1 and minus 1 and a ninth. But that is your answer. Now this is the next question. Have a go at this one. Okay, so this question is very complicated, but we want to start by multiplying by the lowest common multiple of these. The lowest common multiple is going to be 15. There's no number less than that divides evenly into 3 and also into 5. So we're going to have to use that 15. So we multiply both by 15. We're going to get 15 lots of x on 3 minus 15 lots of 7 equals 15 lots of 2x plus 15 lots of 2 plus 4x on 5. Now we can cancel these ones out. We're going to get 5x, cancel these, and we're going to get 3. Our next step is to then simplify this more. So we get 5x minus 105 equals 30x plus 3 lots of 2, which is 6, plus 3 lots of 4, which is 12x. Now we can simplify this more. We get 5x minus 105 equals 30 plus 12. So we can add these two together. 42x plus 6. Now we want to move things around. We don't want this here. We want to move it around. So we're going to add 105 to both sides. So we get 5x equals 42x plus 105 plus 6 is 111. And then we want this over there. So we're going to subtract 42x. Which is going to give us minus 37, 37x equals 111, and then finally divide by minus 37, and we get x equals 111 over minus 37. Again, you could simplify this and make it into a proper fraction, but that is the solution. Finally, have a go at this one. So we're going to start by expanding the brackets. So we get 2x minus 6 minus 16 minus, plus 4x equals 12. We can clean this up. We get 6x minus 22 equals 12. Bring the 22 over there by adding 22 to both sides. We get 6x equals 12 plus 22, so 34. X equals 34 over 6, and that's your answer. Again, you can simplify it, but that's the correct answer. If you have any questions, please bring them to me. Otherwise, continue on your classwork.